All right, now we are excited to be kicking off this marketing automation demo day because at Adobe, our mission is to change the world through digital experiences. Now we accomplish this by focusing on three main clouds. Our Creative Cloud with tools like Photoshop and Illustrator, our Document Cloud, home of the PDF, and the Adobe Experience Cloud, which houses our marketing automation platform, Marketo Engage. Now, though we recognize that Marketo Engage is not purpose-built for associations, at Adobe, we believe that every business is an experience business, and we serve association customers today, ranging from large healthcare awareness groups to financial trade associations and more. We are also thrilled to be working with High Road Solutions, your trusted vendor working to bring for-profit technologies to the association space. One of our integration partner in this vertical. This leads us into walking through how Marketo Engage serves our association customers today. So the main areas we see our association customers looking to solve for when they move to Marketo are data integration, cross-channel scalability beyond email, and a holistic view of member engagement and the member journey. So here you'll see a view of the data that Marketo Engage is able to ingest. One of the foundational benefits to our platform is our ability to integrate with any of the technologies that you already have in your architecture today. So think of the data that's housed in your AMS, your LMS, webinar platforms, and more. With Marketo's extensive partner network of over 500 technology partners and our open API functionality, we can serve as that centralized hub for your member data to help you better understand your member journey from anonymous to advocate. With Marketo, you can centralize and enrich your member profiles with behavioral information that we will track across your websites and communications efforts. And that can then be used across any kind of campaign you want to create. So what we're going to do now is take a peek into a live demonstration of Marketo Engage and what that might look like as you go through these efforts of marketing to your members. All right. So I'm excited to dive into some of these key portions that Marketo, that associations are really utilizing Marketo for to manage the personalized journey, experience, and marketing for its members. So here we are on the home page. This is where I can easily navigate throughout the platform. And whether you're a small but mighty team or have many resources, Marketo is intuitive to use and takes care of the heavy lifting to provide an omni-channel experience. So whether that's through advanced personalization and dynamic content in marketing activities across your emails, landing pages, forms, and mobile outreach, or automating personalized web experiences and AI-powered content. With Marketo, you will have the insights into what's working and where to put your time and energy. So in the time we have together, we're going to do several things here. We'll take a look at a customizable membership journey, how Marketo can engage your members in a personalized way, and finally, how having the right reports and insights makes all the difference in driving success for your association and its members. So starting off in the Membership Lifecycle Modeler. Here we can easily visualize the path of membership from anonymous to advocate and everything in between. And keep in mind that this is very flexible and customizable to your exact organization and how you would set up this lifecycle modeler. With these stages, we're able to see where people are at in the lifecycle as well as engage in tailored messaging. We can clearly see and define what the transitions are from one stage to another. So for example, to go from acquire to engage, This is going to require that they show engagement by either visiting our page 3 times in the last week, clicking certain links within an email, or having their lead score become at least 20. So what does that mean real fast? Well, a person might get a higher score by their actions. So they fill out a form, they take a course, they get certified, they visit a web page. And a score can also change based off of demographic fit, such as by job title, state, city, country, revenue. Any of those geographic areas or other segments that might be more strategic and focused, you can give a higher score. So the lead score allows you to really focus on that audience who is showing more engagement. Now, going from engaged to member might be something like if they filled out the join membership form. And as everyone doesn't necessarily follow a linear pathway, we account for detours. So for those who maybe didn't renew at renewal time, we'll make sure that they continue to receive engagement and nurturing as they may need. Now, with this model in place, I can view reporting on velocity from one stage to another, and if there are any bottlenecks we need to address. I also now know where people are in their journey with us and can engage with them appropriately. So to that end, let's now transition over to a nurture campaign where I'm engaging in cross-channel nurturing. So here I am in marketing activities. That's how I navigated to this page we're looking at now. It's within marketing activities where you're going to set up, manage, and deploy your various campaigns and programs. So in this nurture campaign, I have some streams here that I've created. And each stream contains relevant content I want to share with members of these streams. So as individuals are added to a stream, they will receive this content according to a certain cadence that you set up. So for those who enter this acquire stream, the first of every month at 11 a.m., they will receive content starting from the top to the bottom. For this welcome stream, when they become a new member, every Thursday at 1 p.m. And for this engage stream, every Monday and Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Now, each stream also has their own transition rules, and this automates how someone enters a stream. So the rule could certainly be based off of the stage from that membership lifecycle we were just looking at, and really it can be based off of any data points that we're collecting. So if I take a look at the transition rule, I'm going to actually double click here to open this up. This takes me into a smart list. And this is where we're defining that audience, who is going to automatically enter this particular stream. Now, Marketo uses smart lists across all of its campaigns and programs. With it, we're defining that audience by the use of triggers and filters. Filters are based off historic actions and attributes. So have they filled out a form in the past? Let's focus on those people for this campaign. Or do they have that certain job title, or have they visited our site in the past? Now, triggers, on the other hand, they're looking for real-time actions, such as the moment someone visits a web page, the moment they open an email or fill out a form. So we're going to automatically add them to the stream the moment these actions take place in real time. And then we have this flow tab over here. And so depending on my campaign, I might use this flow step to do a couple of actions, including alerting the appropriate frontline person. Hey, we have someone here who's been, engaging with us, opening our emails, filling out our forms. They have this strategic job title that we're focusing on right now. So we can send the appropriate alert to that person. We might also want to do some multi-channel engagement here and send them an SMS message or a push notification, or simply add them to an entirely new or different campaign. Now, in this example, for this particular nurture campaign, what I'm using the flow step for is adding them to this stream. So you can also be very agile in how you manage the content. It's simple to rearrange. And also, if you want to add new content as time goes on, you can easily do that. And if I want this newly added piece of content to be the next thing everyone in this stream receives, I'll just drag and drop it to the very top. That way, the next first of the month, this will be the next thing they receive, and then they'll go right back to wherever they previously were within this particular stream. Now, I'm also engaging in some cross-channel marketing in this nurture campaign by sending a push notification, adding them to maybe a web retargeting program, or making sure they're added to this upcoming webinar that I have here. So let's now take a look at this upcoming webinar. And here we're able to manage everything from that initial invitation send to processing the registrations, all the way to sending some follow-up content after the event takes place. One major way we're able to do this is with a status update. So everywhere you see these green arrows, that's the status update that we're automating. So when I send out this initial invitation to my audience, they will automatically be updated as invited. And for those who navigated to the landing page and registered for the event, they'll be updated as registered. As we get closer to the actual event here, this webinar, I might want to send out some reminder to register for this event, maybe 3-4 days out. And so for those who have still not registered, I'm going to automate that at that certain time as we get closer to the event. And for those who did register, maybe 1 day out, 2 days out, I'm going to send them this reminder to attend with all the pertinent information for them to log into this webinar. And for those who did register after the event, people will be updated as either attended or no-show. For those who attended, I'll automate this follow-up of thank you for attending. For those who were a no-show, hey, sorry we missed you. We do have another event coming up you may be interested in. Now, with any of our programs or campaigns, we want to make sure that you are able to save time and effort and put your time to better use. And as I have multiple events, some may be similar, instead of starting from scratch, something I may want to do instead is to clone this event. Because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of digital assets that I have for each one of these events. I certainly don't want to start from scratch with every single event. So I have all of these different emails that are part of this management of this event. I have my form, I have my landing pages. And so instead of starting from scratch, again, I will just clone this over. And then the other tool that makes this very, very simple and a huge time saver is the use of My Tokens. So after cloning this event, I can come to this My Tokens tab, and here I have these tokens, these curly bracketed items that I have throughout my digital assets. So they're living in my emails, my form, my landing page, and what this allows me to do is update the value very quickly. So now I can give it a new title, a new date, a new time, new links for registration, who my speakers are. I'll update their names, their title, and even some images that I have in my emails for these keynote speakers. By updating this information, I now have a whole new event ready to go, and it was that fast. And we're going to transition into the last type of campaign I want to show you here. And this type of campaign is if you have a certain piece of content with a certain date and time that you want to send this out. So this is more of a simplified batch and blast type email campaign. And there's really 3 main steps to setting this up. That's defining your audience, selecting the email, maybe doing some A/B testing, and then scheduling that out. For defining your audience, I can do this a couple of ways. I can import maybe a static list, a CSV file, or I can edit a smart list. So this will look very familiar, and like I said, smart lists are utilized throughout our campaigns and programs. And with the use of all of these different data points that Marketo is gathering, I can very targetedly define who is my audience going to be for this email campaign. So I'm using some geographic segmentation, and I'm also using some behavioral. And the point of this particular campaign that I want to send is I want to drive people who have not been to my website lately, I want to drive them to my website. So I'm saying, hey, let's focus on people who in the past 7 days have opened any of our emails. Maybe I want to strategically focus on a certain email. But at the same time, within that same time frame, they have not been to my web page. So you can see how I can really hone in on my specific audience. So after I've done that, I'll select the email. And if I want to create an email from scratch, what I'll do is I'll right-click on this campaign, and I'll click on New Local Asset. So here I can choose if I want to, create a form, a landing page, a smart list. We're going to focus on an email. The first place it takes me to is a template picker. So I can pick from any number of Marketo's best practice emails, or if I have my own template that I've saved, I can utilize that as well. So it's easy for me to preview how this will render, whether it's opened on desktop or mobile, as all of these are responsive emails. And I can go ahead and get started with that if I choose. Now I do have an email that I'm already working on, so I'll go ahead and jump into here. And within the header, something that's important to know here is you have full flexibility into, okay, who is this email from? What's the from address, the reply to, and the subject? Because you may want to tailor these in a strategic manner. Over time, you might find that emails coming from a certain person versus just, our marketing team or department gets more opens and engagement. But you also maybe don't want every single reply going to that singular person, and you have a specific area you want replies to go to. So this can be very helpful as you set up these campaigns. And with our A/B testing, you can also test, hey, what is the best, from address or subject line or content within the whole email, or even date and time. All of these things you can test. Now for the body of this email, it's very easy to create. Marketo was designed and created by marketers for marketers. So I don't need any IT or web development background. It is modular based, so anything I want to add in here, whether that's text, images, place for a video, I can easily drag and drop it where I want it to be. And then I can come in here, I'll double click, and I can make sure the content is exactly what I want it to be. Here I'm utilizing a first name token. So every recipient of this email, it'll say their individual first name here and be more personalized. It's very easy for me to insert and add tokens. So maybe I want this to be first and last name. You can see here how I can pull from all of the rich data points we're collecting for these tokens. So I'll put in, maybe the last name as well. So now it's first and last name. We can further personalize our emails by the use of dynamic segmentation. So pulling from content within our database or these different segments, we can personalize this depending on what we choose. So for example, by default, everyone will receive this email unless they meet one of the criteria that I am dynamically segmenting by. So if the person is a student in this example, they might see different text, different images, different videos versus everyone else. This saves me time and energy because now I'm not having to create entirely different emails when generally, everything else is going to be the same, except maybe some text, some images, some videos, and also some links that might take them to specific pages relevant to their segment. Okay. Now, the next place I want to take you to is into the powerful reporting and insights. So specific to our email, since we're kind of on this subject, we have a report called Email Insights. This is a very powerful dashboard that gives me that holistic view across all of my email sends. So across whatever date period I'll select, so the last 30 days, I can see that I've sent 11.3 thousand emails, and I can see that delivery rate, click-through rate, unsubscribes, and bounce rates. And I can see how they're trending, if they're trending this period versus last period, up or down or neutral. And in this chart, I can see metrics across my engagement and delivery. At any time, I can add a filter to really hone in on maybe certain audience or certain content and see how those pieces are performing in a more granular way. To the right here, I can see what are my top drivers. So my top drivers across my audience, across content, and we're bringing in here a engagement score. This utilizes a Marketo algorithm that lets you basically know how well these emails are performing versus other emails that you sent. So what's working well, what might I want to clone and do more like, and what might I want to modify on. And I'm also seeing drivers across platforms. So is my typical audience opening up via desktop, Android, iOS, tablet? This can be strategic information for me to have. If I come to the Sends tab, now I'm seeing a list view of the content that I've sent, the recipient count, and some metrics, again, across delivery and engagement for these individual pieces of content. So very powerful report, but let's go even more holistic here. And let's say, okay, well, this is great for my email performance. What about all of my programs and channels and how they've been performing? That's where we come into Marketo Performance Insights dashboard. I kind of think of this as my executive dashboard, how it's laid out and the powerful information it's giving me. So I can view performance by several ways. I can view performance across successes, new names, and if applicable, pipeline, and really what's hitting the bottom line, the revenue. What channels and programs are really bringing in some revenue here and helping to drive that. And I can view this information at whatever time period I choose here. So if I want to look at this information across successes, now what are successes? This can be any success metric that you define. So it could be something like attended a webinar, filled out a form, became a member, were influenced in any way. So now I can say, okay, well, what are those top channels and programs that are driving successes? So I can see that in this kind of pie chart, bar chart, and if I want to see this in a more granular way, I can come down here and per channel, I can see, okay, well, what are the actual metrics across, engagement for successes, percent of successes, the cost, and the total members. And so if I want to hone in, well, let's focus on some of our batch emails, I can go granular and see those individual emails and their attribution towards successes. Similarly, if I want to focus on new names, we can view this performance by that as well, and now say, okay, well, across all of our efforts here, what's really driven new names? What's the cost of that been? And I can really answer those questions of, hey, for all of our marketing efforts here across emails, across all of our channels and programs, what's working and what do we maybe need to modify on. And at any time, again, I can add some powerful filters to maybe hone in on specific areas. So with that, I just want to thank you for spending some time with us today. And as you can see, Marketo is an extremely valuable and intuitive tool. It is the solution associations rely on for that holistic view of the member journey, cross-channel engagement, and data integration. And so with that, I just want to leave you with how you can contact us if you would like to, and utilizing this link here. Just be sure to mention that you attended the ASAE Marketing Automation Demo Day in the comments. We'll really kind of help them to understand how you came in touch with us.
Well, Josh, thank you so much, man. It's very, very informative. And Zach's been doing the yeoman's work of answering questions, so I don't see any in the Q&A box. But I do have a couple of questions for you.
And hi, Reggie. I just wanted to pipe in since Emma was finally able to join and say thank you to everyone. We did have actually one question in the Q&A that I saw, Reggie, that I was going to just address live really quickly. This was from Dennis. What are all of the marketing automation vendors doing to combat auto clicks, usually from email security systems? Because it's really becoming a problem, showing false clicks and open rates. And Dennis and the other attendees, what I'll say to that is that we're aware of that being a really common issue. It's something that unfortunately lives on the email security side and less on where marketing automation can actually do anything different to kind of get around that. But at Marketo, we do have a world-class email deliverability team that regularly releases information, articles, et cetera, about some best practices about how to combat that and how to work on filtering some of that out when you actually get onto the reporting and analytics side of the house. So Dennis, if that's something that you or anybody else in particular is interested in more information of, we do encourage you, again, if you screenshot this or write this link down, drop some comments in there, let us know that you came to the demo day so you get routed to the correct team, and we'll work on getting you some more information.
Great. So Emma, while I got you here, couple of quick questions, and I don't know if this is for you or for Josh. Do you connect directly to any AMS systems, or is the appropriate thing that you upload lists and then work from those lists?
It's a combination of the two. So if uploading lists is going to work best for you at the moment, that's definitely something that you can work through. Or we have both previously connected like middleware integrators to AMS solutions, or you could work with one of our integration partners like High Road to make sure that you can get that data integrated directly from your AMS to Marketo as well.
Cool. And one second question. I noticed some of the wonderful templates that you guys had in there. Do clients have the ability to modify those templates and then save them as their own?
Yes, absolutely. You can modify both the kind of parent version of the template, if you will, but you can also create sub-templates that you save as well. So a lot of flexibility. You're not having to recreate the wheel every single time with customizing those templates either.
Good, good, good. Well, thank you. I want to thank you both for such a wonderful demonstration. You know, I'm looking at how far marketing automation has come in the last, say, 5 to 10 years, and it's pretty remarkable. So thank you both for your time.
Thank you so much, Reggie. We loved being able to be here today, and thank you to ASAE.